So for today, we're talking about chapter 6.2. Okay, and chapter 6.2 is going to be talking about reflections. Okay, reflections. Yes. Does anyone happen to remember what are all of these different things called? Like, what is reflections a subcategory of? Transformations. Okay, so transformations. So yesterday, we talked about translations, and translations were just sliding something, okay, from one place to another. A reflection, what do you think a reflection is? Like, what does that sound like? Have you ever seen a reflection?
Yeah.
Right. Where do you see a reflection usually? In the mirror, okay? So reflections are mirror image. Okay, reflections are mirror images. Excuse me. Okay, so there's usually going to be two different ways that things are reflected. Okay, so ways things are reflected. Okay, the first way that some things are reflected is over the x-axis. Okay, so if something is reflected over the x-axis. Okay, which one is the x-axis? Is it the up and down or the side to side? Well, let's take a vote because I heard a bunch of both. Do you think the x-axis is the side to side or the up and down? It's the side to side. Okay, so over the x-axis, and the x-axis is the side to side one. Okay, so if you had a reflection, for instance, okay, let's say that I start with a triangle, okay, and I'm going to put a dot at -1, 1. We're going to label that A. And I'm going to put a dot at, let's say, over 1, up 3.
Do we have to draw this?
You will want to draw this, yes. You can cut them out if you want to. Yeah, if you guys want to cut out the graph papers, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, here's some scissors that I'll start passing back to you guys. Okay, or you don't have to. You should have graph paper right there. B is at over 1, up 3. And the C point is at 4, 0. So over 4, up 0. Sorry, this is example 1. My bad. Okay, this is example 1. I forgot to write the example 1. Yes, so this whole thing is example 1. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is you're going to be given a triangle. Okay, the next thing, basically what we're going to ask you is your instructions are going to say the x-axis is what's called the line of reflection. The x-axis is the line of reflection. Okay? If I ask you to find the coordinates of the vertices of the reflected image. Okay. So find the coordinates of the vertices of what's called the reflected image. Find the coordinates of the vertices of the reflected image. So if I'm going to reflect it, basically what am I going to flip this over? Am I going to flip it side to side, or am I going to flip it up and down? Up and down, right? Now, I have a little helper way to help you reflect things, okay? I'm going to give you something. It's these little pieces of paper, okay? They're kind of transparent. I'm I'm only going to be able to give you one though, so be kind of, I don't want you to like do something like right in the middle. You're going to have to use kind of the edges. This is something called patty paper, okay? And it's usually used like, you know, if you go to like the deli and you buy cheese and there's like a piece of paper in the middle. This is what this is for, okay? Or like in between hamburger patties, something like that, okay? But we're going to use it for math, okay? I don't have very much because I had to get it from a different teacher, okay? So I'm going to give you guys one of these. You don't have to use this, but a lot of times it's very, very helpful for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you one of these, and you can like cut it up if you need to. You can do whatever you need, okay?
It feels weird.
It kind of feels like wax paper. Can you smell it?
Isn't it like cooking paper?
It's like it kind of reminds me of wax paper, but it's not that. It's not waxy like the cooking paper. And yes, you're gonna want to write on this. I'm gonna show you what we do with it.
It's like wrapping paper.
It's kind of like wrapping paper. But what we're gonna do, listen. Hey, look at this. Okay, with our patty paper. Okay, what? Whoever has scissors, if you guys could like, you know, pass those around and stuff, make sure they get. Thank you. I do have tape, or if you guys need some, I do have some glue sticks too. If you want to put down your graph.
Oh, what do you want?
Let me give her a glue stick. If you guys want to glue down your graphs, I do have glue sticks for you. Sorry, well, that works too. I apologize for not giving you guys. Okay, so the way that we use this, is I'm going to use just a little tiny corner, okay, because I don't want to use the middle, okay. What you're going to do here is basically you're going to trace over this, okay. So I'm going to put it right on what's called the x-axis, okay. So I have it like my patty paper is right at the edge of the x-axis, okay? And I'm just going to trace these. And I'm going to put my A and my B and my C point, okay? And draw your little triangle. So just trace over it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, okay? So I'm going to flip it. This is called reflecting over the x-axis. So it does, you have to be really careful, okay? But then you're going to flip it over just like that. Okay, so you got to flip it over just like that. Then what you're going to have to do is you want to pick it up like one corner at a time. Okay? So this C one I know is actually going to stay the exact same place. Okay, so you're going to put C prime. Then you kind of put that one down, okay? And we're going to see, where did this one go? Okay, where did this one go? Kind of pick up the corner. And this is your A prime, okay? And then you're going to pick up this one. So the other way you could do this is to figure out, okay, if I flip this over, how far is it right now? Is it going to move on this coordinate if I just flip it over the x-axis? Would the B coordinate move? No. How far away is it from 0 right now? 3. So that means how far away from 0 would it be this way? 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then you label. This is what's called your reflection. Okay, so like that's what you would see if you put a mirror right here. Then I want you to label these. Okay? So find the coordinates of the vertices of the reflected image. Okay? So the reflected image, what is my A prime? What coordinate is this right here?
Wait, sister,
Uh-huh.
how does this thing help?
It just helps you to flip it over. You don't have to do it that way. Okay? It just helps you to flip it over. If it's easiest for you to just figure out like, okay, this is 1 away from the x-axis, it's going to be 1 away the opposite way, that's totally fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay? And it might be easier for some people. Okay? This one, so the A prime is at -1, -1. What's your B coordinate? And make sure you put the little prime, so the B to the kind of first power. What coordinate is this? Over 1, down what? 3. So 1, -3. And what's your C prime value?
0.
Over 4, 0. Okay, that is called a reflected image. Okay, and I know that this is going to take a little bit of practice for you guys. Okay, so this might take a little practice, and that's okay. Okay, so let's try another one. For example, number 2. Okay, we're going to draw another one. Let's see. Next, we are going to, so that was reflecting over the x-axis. What do you think the next one will be? The y-axis, exactly, okay? So over the y-axis. Okay? So if we're going to reflect over the y-axis, which one is the y-axis? Is it the side to side or the up and down?
Up and down.
The up and down. So it's the up and down axis. So we're going to be reflecting or flipping over the y-axis. Okay, so we're going to reflect over this one. So if I give you, listen, okay, if I tell you that triangle XYZ, triangle XYZ has vertices, listen, triangle XYZ has vertices x at 1, 2, y at 2, 1, and z at 1, -2. X is at 1, 2. Y is at 2, 1. And z is at 1, -2. So first I'm going to give you those coordinates. Okay, and what we're going to ask you to do is graph the figure and its reflected image over the y-axis. So graph this and its image over the y-axis. And I also want you to find the coordinates of the reflected image. Find the coordinates of the reflected image. I'll give you guys just a minute to write that down because I know it's going to take just a minute. First thing we want to do is let's sketch this. Okay, so I'm going to place point X at over 1 up 2. This is your X coordinate. Y is over 2 up 1. It's kind of a tiny triangle. And Z is over 1 down 2. Okay, so let's draw that, please. So does everybody have the first one drawn? Okay, so let's get this first one drawn. So if I'm going to reflect it over the y-axis, okay, if it's easier, you can try to use the patty paper. Or I'm going to show you the different method this way, okay? If we're going to reflect it over the y-axis, you can look at each point and figure out how far it is away. Okay, so if I'm going to flip it over this right here, okay, let's just first look at the x-axis. Is it going to change how far up it is if I flip it over? No. How far away from the y-axis is the x point right now? 1. So that means it would be 1 away on the other side. So that's your new x coordinate. Then we're going to do the same thing with y. It's still going to stay in the same line, so it's still going to be right there. But how far away from the from the y-axis will it be? 2. It's 2 away, so it's going to be 2 away again. And then same thing for z. How far away is it right now? 1 away, so it will be 1 away, and it stays in that same kind of line. Yes. Yeah. Then attach the points together, and I want you to label them. Okay? So what is the x prime coordinate? What's the first coordinate? What is this x coordinate? Almost. X coordinate is left 1 up what? 2. So negative 1, comma 2. How about for the y coordinate? It's left 2, so negative 2 up how far? 1. And the z prime coordinate? Left 1, so negative 1, down how much? Negative 2. Questions on how I did that? Questions? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, we're going to do 2 more. What do you need? Yeah. Okay, are we done with this one? You guys go to this one? Okay. Next one, for example number 3, and then we'll see if maybe we need to do 1 more. We might be done after this one. Okay? Again, we're going to need a little picture graph. Okay, so you're always going to need graphs on these. On your homework, the graphs are already there. On the homework, the graphs are already there, so you don't really have to worry about it. Okay? So, if I'm going to tell you the figure below is reflected over the y-axis. Okay, the figure below is reflected over the y-axis. Find the coordinates of A prime and B prime. Then sketch its reflected image. Okay, so then sketch its reflected image. Okay, so write that down first, and then I'm going to draw you half of the picture.
What? There's a bug. Oh my god.
Oh!
You guys. Oh my
god.
god.
That one's huge.
I think it's the stinky one. One that like farts out. Can I see? You pissing?
Jennifer, you
Miss
should
Boone,
write that
can you she's getting a pen.
Guys, hey, it's just a bug.
It's true.
Children.
Oh, wait.
Push him into it.
They went to that black one. That's not funny. Is it?
Oh, I got I got it.
Well, that's dead.
It's very dead. Trust me. I promise you it's very dead. Okay, so we're going to draw a picture, okay? This picture will already be on there. You guys do have to draw it right now, but otherwise, for your homework, it will already be on there, okay? If I give you point, 1 down 2, so over 2 down 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Okay, and this is point B. I know, I haven't done it yet. Say it again. Over 2 down 3, yes. And this one's going to be over 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 4. Okay, so that's your A point and that's your B point. Okay, and the picture is going to look like this. Okay, so it's like half of a heart. What I want you to do is figure out how to draw the other half. Okay? Now, would you agree that is a heart symmetric? Is it, like, if you fold it in half, is it the same on the left as it is on the right? Yes. Okay? Well, it should be. Okay? It's supposed to be. Okay? We want to figure out how to draw the other half. So basically, say it again.
Don't you just count like how far away?
Exactly. Okay? So we're going to count how far over it is and do it on the other side. Count how far over B is and do it on the other side. Okay? That's perfect. That's everything that we're doing today.
Wait, okay.
So we're drawing a heart. A goes through the point over 4, up 4. So how far would it go on the other side?
Up 4 over 4?
Left 4, up 4. Exactly. Okay, so this would go left 4, up 4. Okay, so over to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's what we would label A prime. So A prime. How about for the B part?
Over 2.
Left 2 and down how many?
3.
3. That's your B prime. Now, those are the 2 points that I know for sure. Okay? But like, how far should the heart go up? Where should it start? Stuff like that, you have to look at. It's not an exact perfect line. Okay? It's not an exact perfect point, but you can still draw it. Okay? Draw the best you can to make it symmetric. Okay? So symmetric means reflected. Okay? So to make it like balanced on each side. See it again? This one is 4, 4. 4, 4. So for this one, I want you to label these. So A prime is what? What?
Negative 4.
Thank you.
And 4.
Negative 4, up 4, and B prime is what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2, negative 3. Okay. Do we need... Listen. Listen, listen. Hey. Ladies. Please. Do you need me to do another one like this? Or B over here was over 2 down 3. So if you're going to go exactly the same on the other side, you'd have to go left 2 down 3. Okay? This is all going to be about practice. Okay? So you guys are going to need to use the grids that I gave you. Use the patty paper if you like it. Okay? If you don't like it and you'd rather just count, that's totally fine. Okay? Listen, you are going to want to keep this paper. Okay? Keep it in your binder because we might use it again. We will use it again probably on block day. So keep this, okay? Your homework for this.
Are you going to be here on block day?
I am not going to be here on block day, but I will have video notes for you guys. Okay? And I will have handout notes. So you are going to be filling them in with me along with the video. I know I'm not going to be here block day or Friday or next Monday. Okay, so homework for this is going to be page 465. You're doing numbers 1 through 7. then 14 through 19. Okay? You will be turning in homework even when I'm gone. Okay? You will be turning in homework when I'm gone.
Where are you going? What if he loses it?